Once upon a time in a faraway land, there was a young girl named Sakura. She lived in a small village at the edge of a forest, and she loved to explore the woods and collect flowers. One day, as Sakura was wandering through the forest, she stumbled upon a magical pond. The water was crystal clear and shimmered in the sunlight. As she approached the pond, a tiny fairy emerged from the water. The fairy was no bigger than a butterfly and had delicate wings that glittered in the sunlight. "Who are you?" Sakura asked, amazed at the tiny creature before her. "I am Sylphie, the fairy of the pond," the fairy replied. "And you, Sakura, are the chosen one. You have been chosen to embark on a quest to save our fairy kingdom." Sakura was surprised but also excited at the prospect of going on a magical adventure. She agreed to help Sylphie and set off into the forest to find the fairy kingdom. As she journeyed through the forest, Sakura encountered all sorts of creatures, giant spiders, mischievous goblins, and even a fierce dragon. But she was brave and clever, and with Sylphie's help, she was able to outsmart them all. Finally, after many days of traveling, Sakura arrived at the entrance to the fairy kingdom. The gates were guarded by two fierce trolls, but Sakura knew just what to do. She reached into her bag and pulled out a handful of flower petals. She blew them into the air, and they swirled around the trolls, putting them to sleep. Sakura entered the fairy kingdom and was greeted by a group of grateful fairies. The kingdom had been cursed by an evil sorcerer who had stolen the magical gem that powered the kingdom. Without it, the fairies were weak and defenseless. Sakura agreed to help the fairies and set off to find the sorcerer. She journeyed deep into the heart of the forest until she came to the sorcerer's lair. The sorcerer was a powerful foe, but Sakura was determined to save the fairy kingdom. She engaged in a fierce battle with the sorcerer, dodging his spells and striking back with her own. Finally, she managed to strike the sorcerer with a bolt of lightning, and he fell to the ground, defeated. Sakura retrieved the magical gem and returned it to the fairy kingdom. The fairies were overjoyed, and they threw a grand celebration in Sakura's honor. From that day on, Sakura was known as the hero who saved the fairy kingdom, and she was always welcome in the magical realm. And so, Sakura returned home to her village, where she lived happily ever after, forever remembered as the girl who went on a magical adventure and saved the fairy kingdom.